Hi guys, welcome back to So Many Dice. Today, I'm here with a box. A big box.
And Elena.
And Elena.
Today we're playing Expeditions, which is a sequel to Scythe.
Sequel to, but a standalone game.
Absolutely. Designed by Jamey Stegmaier and obviously published by Stonemaier Games. This is a 1 to 5 player game, should be played in 60 to 90 minutes, and it's a 14+. Expeditions is a competitive, card-driven, engine-building game of exploration. So you play cards to gain power, guile, and unique worker abilities, you move your mech to mysterious locations, you use workers, items, meteorites, and quests to enhance your mech, and use power and guile to vanquish corruption from the land. You collect glory and riches to complete the most lucrative expeditions in the sequel to Scythe. The idea of the game is that a meteorite has crashed in Siberia near the Tunguska River. A doctor has led an expedition to try and save the world, but unfortunately, not successful, he has disappeared. So lots of privately funded expeditions are launching into the world, and you are one of them. So you're off to find artifacts, overcome challenges, and essentially bring glory to the land.
So, we've been playing this game for the last hour or so, learning the rules, reading the rulebook, getting to grips with the game. I won't go into too much detail because we're going to ask our questions.
We are.
And you guys will know our first impressions. But on a whole, I would say it's positive.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. It's a great game.
It's a good game. We like Scythe. We like the world of Scythe. It was one of our first games we had in the collection, and I would still say it's in my potentially top 5 still.
I thought you were going to say top 10 then for a second. I
nearly did.
Oh.
We've got some good games now.
We do have some great games. We're a bit spoiled for choice.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's not keep you waiting too long. Here's our usual first impression questions.
Okay, question number 1. What do you make of the setup and the rulebook?
Again, I wasn't present for the setup because I was doing other things. But the rulebook is good. There are a lot of sort of rules and a couple of variations to sort of be aware of as you're playing. So it seems to be a little bit of information in there that you need to take in. Not overwhelming though. I think it's all right.
Yeah. Although this is set in the Scythe world, it is very different how it plays.
Oh, massively, yeah.
But there are winks and nods to the original Scythe, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, I think the movement is similar. So what did you think of the setup?
Setup was easy. Setup was good. There aren't many games that I set up and actually kind of enjoy setting up, but this one...
Really?
Yeah, this one was alright. I like placing the tiles down.
It's part of the experience.
It is, kind of. You place your tiles out, you put your cards down. All the cards have great artwork. You put them down, you can't help but go like, I made a mess.
Knock something over.
You can't help but be like inquisitive and be like, what's this? What's this?
Oh, I guess, yeah. So it's almost like an interesting setup. It's not just putting things out there.
Even you put down your little maps. They're called maps in this game. Just the fact these are inside for the original game, it's just nice to have a little nod to the original. Yeah, setup was nice. I enjoyed it.
Okay, cool. Second question.
What do you make of the layout of the board and its components?
Well, there is no board per se. It is obviously a very different board every single time you play, which is great. It's great. I think components are amazing. We have loads of like wooden pieces for this game. The hexagon are nice. Obviously everything's really good quality, of course. And the amazing thing, which tends to happen with Stonemaier Games, is that the box is very well like packaged and there are like nice places for everything. It's all very tidy.
Even
and
the coin tray and the meeple tray, you've just got a little box. In the box, you just pull this out, put it on the table, and you're good to go.
And you're very organised. It's a nice touch. So yeah, components are amazing. The miniatures are amazing. Our mechs, as they're called, amazing detail on them. Everything is really good quality. Everything's really well made.
And I should point out, this is just the normal standard version of the game. Nothing's deluxe.
There we go.
You can get the mechs in metal.
Oh.
That was a thing.
That's going to be a very heavy box.
I don't know what the metal is.
Oh.
The coins you can upgrade for
metal.
I think there's plastic coins as well.
Oh, okay.
But they're kind of just the Scythe coins. So you could have had them with the original Scythe. Like, you didn't have to buy them just for this game if you've already got some.
Oh, you could have used them for the other box as well. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think components, everything is pretty top-notch in this.
Yeah, it's good. Right, next question. What do you think of the theme?
Well, we love the Scythe world, so a continuation of that obviously is going to be great.
Yep.
So nothing really to complain there about. It's nice that this is a standalone game, not just an expansion of it. So you don't necessarily need to have played the previous version, like
You
the
don't need to
previous.
have played it at all, no.
Yeah, the actual Scythe game. This is just a sequel to it, but there's no reason why you couldn't play this without having played Scythe before.
Yeah, true. I like the theme. I like everything Scythe. Scythe is just good. I like the feel of it, the fact it's almost like post-apocalyptic.
He needs a t-shirt. I love Scythe.
I love Scythe. Go Team Scythe. It's like, it feels post-apocalyptic with the mechs rolling around, but it also feels like really old at the same time. If you take the mechs away, I mean, what is this based? It's based in...
Oh, God.
It's on the box. Top of the box.
1920.
1920. Right, next one is gameplay. What did you make of the gameplay?
The gameplay, as all Stonemaier games, well, actually more Jamey Stegmaier games, I would say. Probably like top kind of level gameplay, I would say.
Yeah, this is very thinky. You have to really...
Oh, yeah.
Especially for the first time playing it, because you're getting used to all the... what's the word?
Moves? Upgrades?
Iconography.
Iconography.
I cannot say that word. Because you need to get used to that a little bit. The first time playing it, there's a bit of a teach. You have to double check things. But you do get your player reference cards, which has everything on them.
And I think one key thing in the gameplay of this is the way that you do your moves. I think it's an interesting way, isn't it? If you have 3 moves, but actually most of the time 2 of them, one of them is blocked and only 2 of them are available.
So move, play and gather.
So it's a new thing, and then you can refresh the moves that you get. It means you can refresh all your components. It's a new element that I haven't seen in a game before.
Yeah, it's good. Even when you pick up a card, most of the cards have multiple things they do. So you've got the initial player card move, which just gets you the top bonus in the corner, your power and your guile. And then you can use a worker to place on the card, and then you get an extra movement.
Yes.
And then you can upgrade your player board by plugging these cards in the side, bottom or top regarding what card it is.
Absolutely, depending on whether it's an item, whether it's a quest or a meteorite that you found.
Yeah, so there's tons to do in this game. Like tons. I don't even think I went to some locations you can go to and you can investigate the location, pay a cost, receive a reward. I didn't do any, so I'm kind of missed it. I wish I did that.
Yeah.
You did it twice, was it?
I did do 2 quests. Although I feel like we could have probably played this a little longer. So
absolutely, that's my fault.
Focusing on gameplay, which is the question, is that we probably could have played this for a bit longer. I think Pete got a bit excited and he triggered the end game of this pretty quickly, but for a first game I think it's absolutely fine. Next time we're going to play this, we'll probably try and almost like do as much as we can before we trigger the end game.
Yeah,
you are in control of when that end game happens, because you can choose when you're going to boast and when you're going to put your stars on this tracker. So there is a nice element of that the game could potentially carry on for a good while until you decide, you know what, I'm gonna go all out.
Where I went wrong with the gameplay is I was just fixated on getting my stars on the board and completing objectives. When that does trigger the end of the game, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win, which it's
a good twist.
I made the game end, and then I looked to the right a little bit and seen how you get your in-game score.
We'll talk about that obviously for the end game scoring part.
But let's just say I didn't know what I was actually doing. I was just trying to get my stars on the board, and then I was like, yeah, finish the game. I'm like, oh, I've made a massive mistake.
Yeah. Which It's a learning curve, and I think it's a great twist in this game because you can get very focused on collecting and getting your stars on the map. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win.
Very true. Next question.
Mm-hmm.
How easy do you think this game is to pick up and learn?
Not too bad, but I do think the fact that we've played Scythe before has probably helped in how you move, play, collect, put your stars on the map, potentially. So it's not too hard to pick up. But equally, I would say it's not like the easiest game.
It's not the easiest game, but like I said, like you do get to grips with it fairly quickly. There's just a lot to remember in the beginning. Like you have to remember to move your cube, and you have to forward think of, right, if I block move, next round I only get to play and gather, and then I'll block play, and then I only get to move and gather.
Yeah.
And then when you play a card, you need to remember that you play the card, collect the resources, and then you can put a worker on the card. There's a fair few steps.
There's a lot of planning.
Yeah. But when you get used to it, it all comes together really well.
Absolutely.
What I'll say. I really like it. It's fairly easy to play, but with a bit of a caveat.
With a bit of learning, with a bit of getting used to it, with a bit of planning, with a bit of not the easiest to play, but equally not the hardest either.
Okay, kind of leads us on to the next question.
Yeah.
Would you recommend this to a beginner?
Ooh. You know what? For the first time, I'm not sure. Would I recommend this to a beginner?
It's a tough one.
The reason I'm conflicted is because I felt, I don't know, I'm kind of losing the grip of what it is at the beginning, because we've been doing this now for a few months.
Yep.
So we're not absolute beginners anymore, but I would say it's maybe a bit intimidating. Not massively. Or am I saying that because we love Scythe and I just kind of want people to go and play this?
So, my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it, but I don't think it's great for beginners. I think it's a really good game. I think Scythe is easier to understand and easier to teach and easier to play than this.
Yeah.
Would I recommend it to an absolute beginner? Would I recommend it to an absolute beginner? Probably not. If it's their first game,
yeah,
probably not. But would I say, like, if they're 3-4 games in, and then I'll be like, right, get this, because this is something that you can dig your teeth into a bit more.
And I think the interesting thing about this game is that you have a lot of moves and your characters are all different, and this is what I mean when I was saying in the beginning, there's a lot of detail to this. So if you're a beginner and you just want something, just to get to grips with, this might feel a bit too overwhelming. A little
bit. So next question is, what do you think the best player count would be? We only played this at 2.
Yeah. I think I like the 2-player. The reason I say that is because I think it might be a bit crowded with up to 5 players.
I would not want to play 5.
If obviously this is the entirety of the map or the game board, then I feel like with 5 players there will be a lot of chasing each other around. And bear in mind, this isn't a game where you sort of fight at all. Like in Scythe, you were sort of, there were points where you could clash.
Yeah, you could.
Whereas
definitely.
Here you don't. It's just all about exploration and getting rid of corruption, and that's how you score. And the ultimate winner is the person who's got the most money at the end. So with 5 players in this, I can imagine that your options are a bit more limited. You might get more in terms of, the cards might change a lot quicker. The board will, be discovered a lot quicker. Like all the tiles will be swapped over. But I don't know, I feel like it would be a bit too crowded and you'd probably wait around quite a bit for everyone.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this at 2. I think 2 is the magic number. And talking about these cards, look how many cards we did not touch. That's a big chunk of deck left over that we haven't even touched.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, you will probably play a few games until we actually familiarize ourselves with the rest of that deck, because realistically next time we might get some of the same cards or not, but yeah, this is definitely a game which I think is going to feel new pretty much every time you play it. So, we're going to stick with 2 players on this one. Maybe try 3. But honestly,
I wouldn't go over 3.
I would not go over 3, no.
Next question is, what is your favourite part of this game?
My favourite part? I really like the introduction of this way of moving and way of choosing your actions and refreshing your actions. It's something totally new. I haven't come across this so far, and I feel like it brings an extra element of strategy and play, because it's not just the case every single turn you have the same actions. Every single turn it could be completely different. So I think that is a really nice element of this.
I've got 2.
Oh, can I add another one? The fact that I played with a bear. Now your turn.
I really liked the guile. I like the fact you...
Just the guile, not the power as well?
No, the whole thing. The whole system.
Oh, the system. Right, okay.
It's like a new way of doing it, like a different currency, isn't it?
The corruption, you mean?
Corruption,
The
sorry.
corruption on the
The
tiles.
power and the guile is what you use to pay for the corruption. So when you go to a new location, you discover it for the first time, you flip over the card, and there's a square on the right-hand side that tells you how much corruption to put on this tile. And then you move your guile and your power up this track as you earn
Gather
it, basically.
resources, yeah.
And then you use that to pay to get these off the board. When you get them off the board, they stay on your player map. I like that. Just having a new currency was fun.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a nice element again. It's something new. It's not just a case of going around gathering resources when you land on a certain territory. There is more to it.
You have to earn that spot to unlock it.
And then the next time you go onto that tile, you get more benefits because you've eliminated the corruption and it becomes an even more valuable tile. So, yeah, definitely another really cool element to have in this game.
And my other favourite part of the game, the stars.
The stars.
The stars.
What?
It reminds me of good old Scythe for a start.
Okay.
And I kind of homed in on it. That was my target. And I succeeded.
You were very set on getting those stars on the map without any... Like, that was a purpose that you were set yourself for.
It really was. So next time I try this, I'm going to try and upgrade my player board a bit more and see if I can get the other 3.
Okay. No, I see what you mean.
Yeah. It's good. I mean, already replayability is already calling me back to do some more stuff, so which is just what you want.
Yeah. That's always a great sign, isn't it? Like when you've just finished the game and you're already thinking, how can I be better next time?
Yeah.
I think that's a sign that 1, you've enjoyed the game, and 2, there's a lot more that can be done. It's not boring. I don't think you can... There are so many possible combinations of how the tiles are going to go, what you're going to get, what cards you're going to collect. There's a lot to this that just... Yeah, it just makes it a different game every time you play it.
Absolutely.
So...
Brace yourself.
Next question.
What did you make of end game scoring?
It was...
What did you make?
An interesting one. So as we were saying, so Pete triggered the end of the game pretty quickly. And I'll be honest, he has 4 stars on the board. I only have 2. So I thought, lost this already. I think the one thing we didn't read properly was... Well, no, we did read the fact that whoever is the wealthiest game player at the end wins. So we knew that part. And I knew that I had a bit of money that I collected in the game. What we didn't really expect is the way that the stars are actually sort of counted at the end.
Yeah.
So if you haven't completed any quests, your stars are actually not worth... Well, they're not worth a lot, but they're worth less. Whereas with my 2 little stars, I nearly made as many points as he did with 4 stars. Because I had 2 quests completed.
I completed no quests.
So it was very, very close until the last moment. And congratulations to the winner, Pete, who beat me by $1.
$1.
$1. So he ended up on $43 and I had $42. As I said, I feel like our game was pretty short and we didn't make an awful lot of money because someone got a bit excited and wanted to get his stars on the board.
Yeah, I got distracted. I was thinking stars on the board. That's how I'm winning.
Yeah.
So I went for the map tokens straight away, and then I went for 8 cards, and then I went for the 20 corruption.
Yeah.
And then I just tried to count up all of the other corruptions that I could. triggering in game, but it was when I placed the last star. I put it down and I was like, nice, I did it. And I looked over here and then I was like, why do these hearts have coins next to them? And then I was like, oh, and then the penny dropped and I was like, I didn't do any of those. So my stars are 5 each and her stars are 8 each.
Yeah, they're not as valuable as they could have been.
No.
So lesson learned. And I think, again, next time we might try and play for a bit longer and potentially make a bit more money and, you know, a few more quests and a few other things which could make endgame scoring probably even more exciting, I would say.
Yeah.
Because you'll have more things to score, more things to potentially, you know, keep us on the edge of our seat until the last second to see who won.
So, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. This is a fantastic game. I don't think that's going to come as a surprise to anyone because Jamey Stegmaier is pretty genius when it comes to board games.
He's good at what he does.
And it's a continuation of Scythe, which was already a fantastic success. And we are, obviously, this is a sequel to it. So 2 big elements there, which I think we're going to sort of give away the end of this.
Yeah.
We're not kind of, bringing you a shocking review here by any means. It's a great game. If you love Scythe, I think this is a fantastic next step. And you should probably buy it because it's so good and it's so replayable. It will feel like you've got a few games in one.
I'm going to give this...
Oh, it's a scoring moment.
It's a scoring moment. I'm going to give this...
A
9.
Oh, same!
9.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good.
I was going to give it a 9 too.
I was trying to think then for reasons to drop it down to an 8.5 and I was like, I don't think I can. There's lots to do. I love how it looks. I love the board. The cards are great. You've got lots of options. The mechs are good. It's a really, really good game.
So the question is, why not a 10?
I don't like giving anything a 10. Simple.
10 is just too perfect.
I don't know what would make a game a 10 for me, but...
Yeah, again, I don't know why I would probably give it a 9 and not a 10, because it could maybe be a 10, but...
You know what could have made it a 10?
What could have made it a 10?
If we went all bells and whistles and got the metal mechs and the coins, and if everything was as good as it could be, potentially it could be a 10.
But that's not a matter of how good the game is.
No,
it's
that's
just how much you're willing to... But how much you're willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
So, okay, an interesting one. So, that's our scoring, that's our rating. Those were our first impressions of the game.
Yeah.
So, hopefully you guys have played as well, or you are thinking of playing it. And if you do, just let us know what your thoughts are as well, because clearly we love it. So, if you guys feel the same, let us know. And if not, let us know again. So, until the next one, please like, comment, subscribe, follow us along, and we will see you on the next one.
Absolutely. See you later, guys.